My name is Wendell, and I was diagnosed with schizophrenia when I was 25, shortly after my ex-wife left me and I became homeless. It took me a long time to accept this label. I denied it for many years. All of this is really hard for me to speak about because it is embarrassing. So please do give this video a like for me because I'm about to open my heart up and tell you about my mental problems. So we ask ChatGPT, what is schizophrenia? Schizophrenia is a complex and chronic mental disorder that affects a person's thinking, emotions, and behavior. It often involves a range of symptoms, including hallucinations, false sensory perceptions, delusions, false beliefs, disorganized thinking, and impaired social functioning. The exact cause of schizophrenia is not known, but it is believed to result from a combination of genetic, environmental, and neurochemical factors. Treatment typically involves a combination of antipsychotic medications, psychotherapy, and support services to help manage symptoms and improve quality of life for individuals with this condition. It's important to seek professional help for a proper diagnosis and treatment plan if you or someone you know may be experiencing symptoms of schizophrenia. They would always ask, do you see or hear things that aren't there? And my answer would always be the same, no. But I would experience delusions and get trapped within my own imagination. I would get caught up in ideology and become deluded into thinking I, as one person, could change all of the world, change the culture of the world, and change their belief systems. At one stage, I thought that I was the Messiah. How deluded is that? At one stage, I got fixated on trying to find a young wife, and society did not like that. But I was deluded into thinking that I could make that happen. I wasn't thinking straight, and I've since learned that age doesn't matter. It's just that I'm starting to get old, and I really wanted to have kids in this life. How old do you think I am? I am 39 years old. I got obsessed with filming nature and caught many miracles on camera and got fixated on filming nature and trying to capture as many miracles on camera as possible. And it was really fun doing that. I'm not so into nature anymore because I've grown to like the comfort of the inside because I can control the climate which means I can be more comfortable. But while I was homeless, nature was really close to me. What is schizophrenia? Is my vision of reality so far from reality that it can't be accepted as a possible reality? When you're not thinking straight, your actions reflect that you're not thinking straight. So you do really strange things because socially obligatory ways of comporting yourself aren't a restriction because you think that the world that you live in is more real than the world that the people say they live in. So you think your reality is the real reality and everybody else has a false sense of what reality is. But I'm just one subjective experience, so what's to say that my reality is any more real than another reality? Who am I to say that? We're sort of forced to follow the social norms, otherwise, there's consequences for not following those social norms, and you have to live those consequences if you don't follow those social norms, which ultimately might land you in a psychiatric ward because your values are so far from the public's values. For quite a while, I was homeless, and the thing is, I didn't value having a home, so I just drifted and didn't care what happened to me. So I wasn't valuing my own existence, which caused me to end up in really horrible situations. My divorce really broke me, and I've spent a lot of time repairing me since then. At first, I had a very bad experience with antipsychotics. They made me feel horrible, and they just tried one after another, and they were all terrible. But then they put me on paliperidone, and that makes me think straight and actually helps me. So they eventually did find a medicine that helps me and doesn't hurt me. Untreated, I stopped caring about social values and take many risks. I've said a lot of things that I shouldn't have to a lot of people that I should have never been speaking to. At first, I complain and go, "Why are you taking away my freedom? This is my freedom to do what I please with." And then eventually I learn, well, I'm not really being cohesive in society, so maybe I should listen to these people to learn how to improve my life. But when you're locked up for long periods of time, it really makes you crazy. I hope being locked up in a mental institution is a thing of the past for me. I hope that never happens again. If your beliefs go against the fabric of society, then you're schizophrenic. It doesn't matter how logical your arguments are. If it's against what society thinks collectively, then it's going to cause you trouble. And you should really learn how to just not involve yourself in those matters, because they're not your matters. They're society's problems, not your personal problems. That's why I failed so much in the past, because I took society's problems on as my own, and I tried to fix everything, and nothing worked because it wasn't in my ability to change the ways of the world. That's not my domain. I can change the lifestyle that Wendell lives, but I can't change what the world thinks. Anyways, I think that schizophrenia causing problems in my life is no longer an occurrence, because I've learned how to treat it really well, and I have safeguards in my life that notify me if I'm not thinking straight. And if that happens, then I analyze what's happening and fix it. I take a paliperidone every morning with no problems. For a while, they injected their drugs into me, and I hated that because I am against needles. To some extent, we all have to conform some to society. I just expected not to have to do that, but I learned better over the years. Once I started not doing weird things, then society has pretty much left me alone to my own devices. So I just had to conform a little bit, and then they allowed me to exist happily. It's just sometimes difficult distinguishing reality from my emotional perception of reality. I oftentimes feel that the way I emotionally feel about reality is reality, when in fact, reality exists independent of even me. This is what schizophrenia is for me. I don't know how it exists with other people who experience schizophrenia. I've never experienced any audio or visual hallucinations, so I couldn't tell you anything about that. Please do comment about what you think about schizophrenia. Do you know someone who has it, or do you have it, or have I accurately identified what it is? Do tell me in the comments. And please do subscribe. That would be really cool if you could subscribe for me. Thanks for watching. All the best.